In 2019, 94% of Americans reported feeling stressed while at work and/or school, and 83% of that stress being caused due to assigned work, which is no surprise as America is among the most stressed out populations in the world. This being, I decided to take a look at some of the impact stress has on students in our school, as well as its volume, and try to find some ways we can reduce that stress. In an effort to find out more about stress and the impacts it has on students, I went to our school nurses, Ms. Dufault and Ms. Sears, and asked them some of the questions I had.
Well, stress it's a physical response that I think it's different for everyone. So it depends on, I think, the person's personality and how they handle things. But things like, school expectations, family dynamics, family problems, financial problems, mental illnesses like depression or anxiety. We see a lot of physical responses like elevated heart rate, shortness of breath, sweating. Sometimes people feel numbness, tingling in their extremities, maybe poor appetite. They might feel nauseated.
Right, stomach issues. That's a common one.
Yes, definitely. So when people are stressed, the body releases hormones and we get that fight or flight response. And imagine sitting in a classroom feeling like elevated heart rate or sweating or feeling feeling like you're going to pass out. It would be, it's really difficult especially for students to concentrate,
focus,
to understand the content that the teachers are trying to put out in front of them.
Retain information probably would be hard.
Yeah, it affects memory.
Yeah.
And if a student's at home and they're studying or expected to do homework, and maybe there were family stressors at home, or they're stressed due to what's going on in school or something else in life, it would be really difficult for them to do their homework. Yes, definitely can be. Like I said, I think stress it is something that we all will experience in everyday life, and I think it's individual how each person handles it, but definitely there are healthy ways to try to avoid stress.
Or cope with it.
Yes, like exercise, diet, a well-balanced diet, getting plenty of sleep each night, practicing, self-care like yoga or mindfulness, meditation.
Once I learned more about stress and its impacts, I wanted to see just how high students in our school's stress levels are. To accomplish this, I sent out a Google form to teachers with classes in each grade. I ended up collecting data from 260 students altogether. To find the actual levels of stress students have, I used the perceived stress scale. Individual scores on the PSS can range from 0 to 40, with higher scores indicating higher perceived stress. Scores 0 to 13 being low stress, 14 to 26 indicating moderate stress, and 27 to 40 being high stress. The points students receive are based off of their answers and are then added up to indicate their stress scores. After scoring all 260 responses, it was time to look at the numbers. I found that 22% of students that took the survey had low stress, 17% had high stress, and 62% of students had moderate stress. Next, I decided to compare the averages I found to the national averages for teens. The national averages for teens to have high stress is 56%, with moderate stress at 25% and low stress at 19%. Compared to the nation, our students have much less stress all around. With stress being apparent throughout our school, I was curious to how students relieve their stress as well, so I was sure to include a question in my survey asking just that. I found that most students relieve their stress by either taking a break, talking with someone, or listening to music. But the majority of students, 24%, do nothing at all, and 14% relieve stress in unhealthy ways such as vaping. These ways to cope with stress can not only make it worse, but can harm your body physically. After concluding my interview with our nurses and my own data collection, I want to dive more into the ways students can relieve stress, especially through yoga and exercise. So I went to Mr. Schwartzman to learn more.
So yoga can do a number of things to relieve stress. It releases endorphins in the body, which are chemicals in your brain that are like enjoyable chemicals to be released. Also, if your body is feeling tension, the asana part of yoga, which is yoga postures, can relieve tension through stretching. Some benefits to regularly doing yoga and exercise are good cardiovascular health, so good for your heart. It can lower somebody's blood pressure. Folks who may have diabetes, it can be positive effect for folks with diabetes or people with high blood sugar. Also just generally relieving tension in your body, stretching your body can help you feel your full range of motion of your body. Definitely. So people do exercise, like go to the gym for their body so that they can get muscle tone and strength, and exercise for the mind is meditation. So there's lots of different kind of meditation practices. An app called Headspace is a really good one to give some practices for the mind that will allow folks to concentrate and feel ease, especially like this time of year when folks are going into midterms.
Overall, in my research, I found that the majority of students in our school have moderate to low stress levels. But along with that, 38% are relieving that stress in harmful ways. And while stress is still on the rise in teens with no way to get rid of it for good, there are still many healthy ways to become less stressed out.
Doing yoga, like feeling loose. Some people who do yoga feel happier, less tension, able to be in the moment, to be present. These are some benefits of yoga.
So my last question is, can exercise be done to relax your mind as well as the body?
Definitely. So people do exercise, like go to the gym for their body so that they can get muscle tone and strength, and exercise for the mind is meditation. So there's lots of different kind of meditation practices. An app called Headspace is a really good one to give some practices for the mind that will allow folks to concentrate and feel ease, especially like this time of year when folks are going into midterms. Headspace has some good exercises for students where they can feel stress relief in their mind, and then they'll also feel that in their body.